All right, you guys, the saga continues. I am getting ready to break every rule of flat tappet cam. I figure this engine is already wounded. One stinking lifter. Everything else looks perfect. But here's the thing. This right here, this is the lobe that lifter failed on. And measuring, I realize this isn't the most accurate thing in the world, but measuring that lobe and comparing it to another lobe, I've already compared the two, and there's like nothing gone. If you look, let me zoom in on that. The very edge of that lobe is still black. It's never even been fully touched by the lifter. And I know that's hard to believe. It's hard for me to believe it based on how that thing looks. But I am going to shove not a new lifter. I'm so ticked off about this mess. I'm going to shove a used lifter on that cam lobe, and I'm putting the manifold right back on this thing, firing it back up. We're going to see what happens. This is a gorgeous set of pre-COVID, you know, back when there was still a little quality control left in the world, comp lifters. And I don't really want to break up a set. Here's a used set. It's probably what's going to end up going in the motor. I'm still trying to make the decision, but here's a used set. These look really good too. It's just that I have the cam that these came off of. I'm reluctant there too, and I definitely, these are some OE GM lifters from, I don't even know what year these are, but like probably the 83. I don't want to use those either, and I'm definitely not going to use these. These are probably what caused the problem in the first place, and you think, oh yeah, brand name, what a joke. Everything has been sold out. Look where that's made, to the hedge funds. None of these companies are owned by individuals anymore. It's all just conglomerates that bought everybody out. A good friend of mine does the machining for Magnuson. He's a one-man shop, just like me. And you think that, you know, Magnuson's a pretty well-known supercharger company. They have one guy that lives in Ogden, Utah, that does all of their machining. Actually, that's not true. They do some of it in-house still. But guess what? Magnuson got bought out by a hedge fund not that long ago. So the jury is out now on what will happen to yet another great American company. But anyway, I digress. So we're going to take one of these lifters and we're going to shove it on that cam. And we're going to see what happens. That's how much ground off that lifter on the break-in. Unbelievable. Unfortunately, there is some can't tell the truthing. And so I just have to show you guys. Somebody asked me which brand I was using that failed in this motor. Well, here you go. So this is a new one. That's the one that failed. And look at the difference in the height. That's how much lifter ground off. And it was just one lifter. But again, look where everything's made. It's all been sold out. If that answers your question, that's where it was made and that's who made it. Right there. I'm not even gonna put a new one in. You can see there's a little bit of wear. You can see the center there. But you can still see the swirl on this lifter. It's a comp cams, and it's from a long time ago, way before the COVID debacle. So that's what's going in, and we're gonna see what happens. Got it nice and lubed up, and in it goes. Let's get the push rods and the two rocker arms. I just took the one off next to it because I want to see what it looked like. But let's get it put back together, and we're going to fire this back up and see what happens. And by the way, I am not abdicating this. This is breaking every rule, but this engine's going to have to come back apart anyway. And so we're going to find out what happens if we put another known good lifter, it was good on another cam, on this lobe that is still there, and almost an immeasurable amount is missing off the lobe. Although granted, especially on this edge here, the edge closest to the camera, it definitely rolled the corner off that cam lobe. But on the other side of the cam, you can actually see a little tiny strip of the black, the original black that hasn't even been touched yet. And that is the peak of the lobe, and measuring the lobe, there's almost no measurable difference. Now again, granted, my base circle It's just a cast camshaft, and that's not a very accurate base to be measuring off of, but it looks like the lobe is pretty much still intact. So that's a used comp lifter, and we're gonna lube everything up good, and we're throwing this thing back together, and we're gonna fire it up and see what happens. The damage has already been done, so we can't make it any worse. But these are pan magnets out of a transmission, and so I'm going to slap these on the bottom of my oil pan on both sides of the drain plug, and then whatever metal is in there hopefully will congregate near the drain plug, and I can reach in there with a little magnet and get whatever debris might be in there out of there. We are going to fill this thing with oil. We're going to drown this cam. We are going to make sure that everything is happy. And then we're going to spin the oil pump with the drill, and we're going to put the manifold back on. And I'm not even going to change the intake gaskets. I am just putting that sucker right back on because I am that bugged and that stubborn. Let's get the drill on this thing, prime this thing. Let's see what we got going on here. We got to fill the oil filter. It's going to take a second to get oil pressure. There we go. All right. Since this has already been run, we got full system oil. Okay, the intake manifold's back on. Quick review before we start this back up. Single exhaust, super quiet muffler on here. Put the whole thing back together. It's got a used comp cam lifter, but it was off of a good cam, and it's lifters from probably 20 years ago. So hopefully that's when they still had some quality control. I adjusted the two valves. I took one lifter out that wasn't bad and one that was, just to compare them. So here's our fuel setup. We just have, because there's a return line, so I had to run two. So this is the fuel in, this is the return line. They're both just going into the jug. And we have our battery with just a positive and a negative cable. Positive is going to the starter. And I have a starter switch, so we can crank it. And then this one red wire just goes to coil positive, and the coil negative wire goes to the distributor. And this is the original points distributor, by the way. That is the original big block distributor. So all I have to do is hook this red wire up to battery positive, and we have spark. We should be able to run this thing again. We're gonna see what happens. Hopefully it all works. Dead quiet still. I don't hear any valve tray noise yet. Been running for over. It's starting to get some heat in the motor. There's the oil pressure. Just under 70 now. I don't hear any valve train noise at all. Sounds really good, but this is extremely risky, obviously. We put a used lifter on a wiped out cam. And we're over 20 minutes in. It does have a little exhaust leak. That's what you're hearing right there, but temperature's good. That's right at the thermostat. This was the rocker right here. You can hear the exhaust leak a little bit. There's absolutely no valve train noise. It looks like we only got about a quarter of a tank left in that jug. We're we're gonna run out of gas. So I'm gonna let it run until that fuel can is completely empty. But this thing sounds good. Got good oil pressure. About 30 minutes in now, and again we got a little tiny exhaust leak right there. The valve train is absolutely quiet. In fact, if you walk away a little bit so you don't hear the exhaust as much, that little tiny tick that you can hear is the exhaust. There is absolutely no noise in the valve train. The clutch fan is kicked in really hard right now. Got up to about 175 and the fan kicked in pretty hardcore, and now it's back down to about 165. Nice and cool. Everything is doing what it's supposed to. I need to fix the exhaust leak so that when I test in the future, I don't have to listen to this. We got no valve train noise. And the oil is way warmed up right now. See if I can get the infrared on the oil pan. That's the oil temperature. The oil filter is at 214. Got good oil pressure still. We got no valve train noise. We're at least 35 minutes in now. Anyway, and again, this is not standard procedure to put a used lifter on a cam that wiped out a lifter. But if the engine was junk anyway, or the cam was junk anyway, and we were going to have to take it completely apart, I don't think I've ever seen any video where somebody tried this experiment. This thing just ran for 40 solid minutes. The cam is not flat. The lifter completely went away on this thing. So to summarize, new build, it's just a stock 396. It's not a big cam. It's basically just barely more duration than stock, maybe a tiny bit more lift. Stock valve spring pressure, so like 105, maybe 110 on the seats. And on the initial break-in, you can see the video that I did on that, the flat cam video. It had one lifter. Everything else looked absolutely beautiful except for one stinking lifter. So it didn't wipe the cam lobe off. It didn't do it any good, but the cam lobe was still there. I measured it. I didn't even take it out of the block. I just pulled the intake, pulled a couple of rocker arms to compare the lifter next to the one that failed, and shoved another used lifter, ironically. I figured, what the heck? Why does it even matter at this point? And it sounds absolutely perfect. So who knows, maybe we'll get away with it. And when I tried to measure the cam, I realized it's not super accurate because my baseline was just the base circle of the cam, and it's a cast cam. But it looked to me like there was maybe 10 or 15 at the most thousandths off of the lobe in question. But again, my baseline was the casting of the cam. So it could have been that far off. You know, in other words, the base of the next lobe over that I measured might have been 15 thousandths different than the baseline I was measuring from on the problem lifter and lobe. So anyway, it's running good. Everything's quiet. 35 minutes plus. It did not do it again. And we're going to cross our fingers and see what happens. And then again, I have a couple of transmission pan magnets on the oil pan, just to help catch any debris that got in there. I'll drain the oil, I'll change the filter again, and we're gonna run it and see what happens.